The more you accumulate of it, the less you have left. That is time, the most finite resources of all. And no person, big or small, is beyond such allotment. Time begins in the past, as it always does. For every human being out there, including us, time came to be way before anyone. Its marching ticking was already in motion way before our conceivement, even from our fathers or ancestors. The very first ones of our kind were born with time already moving. It is something way other than any of us can really comprehend. Therefore, we all have a past, even before time in life began. And the more we advance in time, the more people there is to share that past with. No being is born in a vacuum. We come to a place where things have already happened. Things not made by us, yet they can still affect us. All the people's successes and failures that came before, such is our inheritance, whether we accept it or not. Our main importance is on the here, is on the now. Every moment of time is important, no matter if they are before us or after us. Yet, the here and now are the only time and place we will ever experience. This everlasting present is the only moment we experience on the flesh. Everything else is either a memory or an expectation. Think of this again and again. You can change your whole life in a moment. And also, you can spend your whole life trying to change one moment. It's always more effective to take care of a moment as it happens than to pretend to fix it when its time is gone. And things anew demand of your attention too. Of course, this is wishful thinking in its best way. Being present at all times is one of the hardest things we humans have to face. Our psyche is not simply made for such endeavor 100% of the time. Things not in front of us demands of our present attention to. Experiences from the past and things we expect from the future. Yet, it is worth trying not to achieve being present as much as possible, than to not try and regret it later. And everything else we cannot handle right now, we relegate to our own future, or the future of the people who will follow us. While uncertain, the future is just as important as the past. It's not a place or a thing to remember, but it is something to plan and to expect. Passive actions does not exempt us from their future consequences, whether we intentionally participate on them or not. The future, or future, both shared with others and personal. It is still our responsibility, if not the whole of it, at least in part. If not directly, still indirectly, we all shape it all the time. The future is the biggest collective project of all. Like builders, we all work on it. We all walk towards it. We may not all agree on it or where it will lead, but it is no less truth that there is only one future that we all are building on. It will rest both in our past, for which very little can be done to have it different as it was, and also in our everlasting present, of which its outcome we decide at every moment. And those three times are, have been, and will be part of the eternal. The eternal is all time made solid as a single unit, where distinctions of the past, present, and future are but a mirage of human making, where the single point that we like to call the present is so infinitely small, lacking any dimension, like a point in space. Everything before this moment we call the past, and everything after we call the future. Yet, this everlasting moment changes in its passage of time. A solid definition is not one of its qualities, it's rather fluid instead. We cannot grab the whole of time and trying to define which parts are past, present, or future. Everything in time is defined in itself. Time as a whole is what actually exists, and is not easily grasped by our limited minds, or as Laozi eloquently put it a long time ago, the time that can be spoke is not the true time. Of this totality of time as every moment that is, was, and will be, we sometimes like to call it the eternal. Time can be these many things and more, yet at the end, there is only one thing that is above the rest that should concern us as limited beings swimming in its waters, and that is, time is what we make of it. So, how are you going to spend the next moment?